Ms. Rutherford worked incredibly hard to help students through a very difficult class. Her dedication inspired me to continue to work hard as well. She also structured her class to help us enjoy learning, which encouraged me to want to be diligent and to get good grades. Often at the start of class, she would talk to me about what was going on in my life, and those times were very special to me. She made me feel noticed, and I knew she appreciated my hard work.
Hello, Mr. Cronin. Throughout this extremely complicated and constantly changing year, you've always made yourself available to the students that needed your help. In the first few weeks of Calc BC, I was worried I wouldn't be able to keep up with the coursework, but you helped me get a higher understanding and feel confident not only in my ability to keep up with classmates, but also to excel on my own. Your help didn't only make doing difficult calculus easier, it also taught me a lesson in self-confidence and the need for preparation to ensure success. Because of your class this year, I'll be more prepared for the rigorous college environment I'll be in next year, and I will be much more prepared for life beyond that as well. I can't thank you enough for the lessons you've taught me for both life and Calc BC, so I'll just say thank you now and hope I can pay you back sometime in the future.
I chose to recognize Ms. Rutherford because I wanted to thank her for the time and energy she dedicates to her students. As a teacher, she always encouraged her students to hold themselves to a high standard. Her expectation that we would succeed motivated me to take ownership of my learning, and her obvious passion for education made her class exciting to attend. She taught me valuable critical thinking skills that are applicable to not only history, but all aspects of life.
Dear Ms. Berliner, I wanted to say thank you so much for aiding me in my journey to pursue a career in fashion design. Your class has always been one that I would look forward to attending each day, and having an amazing teacher such as yourself only made it better. I appreciate all your assistance in helping me to find an internship, and even though it has been a hectic year, I still have learned so much from you. Without you, I would have never been able to get into my dream school of the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I will forever be grateful for you and all that you have done for me.
Hey there, Miss Caro. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for all you've done for me. First off, thanks for pushing me to become the student that I am today. On top of fueling my interest for the field of medicine, your medical terminology class really taught me the value of meaningful work. I still remember the long chats and laughs we shared together. Secondly, I'd like to thank you for all the little things you did for me. I'm of course referencing to the letters of recommendation you wrote and all that last-minute printing you did for me. You were very accommodating all the way until the end, and I definitely take your class again. Take it easy.
Hello, Mrs. Stewart. I've chosen to recognize you as my educator for this event. I really appreciate you for teaching me to work hard and focus on my goals. The lessons you have taught me are still constantly on my mind to this day. One of these specific lessons I remember from your class is that good things don't come easy. I typically think back to this whenever I am having a difficult time with something, both in or out of school. Even though it was only 2 years ago, it feels like I took your class ages ago. Since then, you have been moved to a nursing position at Prospero High School, and I am very happy for you. I would definitely take your class again and recommend it to any student who wants to pursue a career in the medical field in the future. I appreciate everything you've done for me.
Dear Mr. Bradstreet, it's crazy to think that I'll be graduating soon because I remember just 4 short years ago sitting in your freshman pre-AP biology class. Now sitting in your AP biology class as a senior is kind of a full circle moment. I'm so glad that I've been able to be your student, even though I might not have been the best student, because it just so happens that Adeline has also been in these classes with me. I know you have made a great impact on my life, not only in biology, but also my life and my future career. I just wanted to say thank you for putting up with me, answering all my dumb questions, helping me with my class schedule, talking with me as we pass each other in the hallways, filling out recommendations, and always putting a smile on my face and making me laugh. I would not be where I am today and going to Jacksonville University without your help. I appreciate you more than you know. Best wishes.
Mr. Whiteside, thank you so much for the endless support you have given me over the past 3 years of high school. I've never been more thankful to one of my educators as I am to you, and I cannot express enough gratitude for the impact you've had on my life. You not only gave me the tools I needed to succeed inside the classroom, but also shaped me into the person I am today. Thank you for absolutely everything you have done for me, even if it meant pushing me to my limits or giving me a hard time. There is no other person I would rather recognize at this banquet, and I have never had someone more influential in my life. Thank you so much for coming, and I will never forget the impact you have had on me.
Mr. Alstrin, for the length of my high school experience, I have had great difficulty expanding my perspective on life and seeing past the struggles of the present. I truly believe that God placed you in my life and in the lives of many students for a purpose that is greater than you know. As I am now graduating and the future is a bit more in reach, I begin to recall pivotal moments and influences that kept me on the right path of academic success and personal fulfillment. I want you to know that among those influences, you are the most unique and memorable, mainly because your wisdom and kindness was exactly what I needed to begin approaching life with more resilience. Never failing to provide us with the most profound and timeless advice, you continually reminded us to trust the process. Those words were rich then and are richer now, as I have held on to your advice and have received more blessings than I could ever imagine. Know that your kindness will continue to live on and that I will never forget how important and valuable you made your students feel. Thank you.
When thinking about someone who truly personifies a great educator, the first person that came to mind was Mr. Miller. I first met Mr. Miller at the beginning of this year. Due to schedule changes, I had the opportunity to take his class. I immediately knew I would enjoy my time in there due to Mr. Miller's humorous nature. So thank you, Mr. Miller, for making my last year of high school math enjoyable.
Mr. E has been my engineering teacher for 2 years, and with him I've learned so much. The start of 10th grade, I barely knew engineering, but thanks to Mr. E, my knowledge has vastly improved. More than engineering, Mr. E has taught me life skills such as working as a team. Mr. E's impact on me is one of the reasons I decided to pursue a career in engineering at A&M. As a sponsor of the engineering club and my teacher, Mr. E has impacted me for the better, and without him, I would not be here today.
Mr. Fangman was my first and favorite engineering and digital arts teacher and helped me discover my interest in STEM as a freshman. He pushed me creatively and taught me to think outside of the box. I always look forward to going to his class and seeing what sketches, prototypes, and 3D models we had to make in order to solve a real-world problem. He taught his students how to work around these difficult problems and was always eager to assist us when working on his fun projects. He inspired me to continue to take engineering and challenging math and science classes throughout high school and continue to do so during college. He left a big impact on me that I will always remember.
Dear Mr. Frensley, I just wanted to let you know how much I've enjoyed you as my physics teacher. You've done a great job teaching digitally and adapting to the pandemic, and I felt really included this year as a digital student. I felt invisible in a lot of classrooms before, especially in science and math, and I know a lot of girls who felt the same way, but I've never felt that way once in your class, and I wanted to express just how important that environment has been to me. I also wanted to let you know how much I've appreciated your help in the college and application process, and it's really been invaluable. Thank you so much for being such a fantastic teacher.
Hello, Miss Friends. I'm Arya from your first period class, and I wanted to recognize you as my educator because you have taught me how to look for the best in anything that I do. Every class, you would always, without forgetting, say good morning and ask how we were doing. You have taught me to keep persevering even when there are bad times. Even though this has been one of the hardest years, you still made it the very best it can be, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you for everything you have done for me, and you are truly the best.
Dear Mr. Bradstreet, my favorite activity from your AP Biology class is trying miracle berries, fascinated by how suddenly sour foods taste sweet. Ever since, your class and teaching has fueled me with my interest in the sciences. Today, I want to thank you for being the first teacher to not tell us to stop talking in class, but rather engage us in constant conversation over topics like groundbreaking scientific discoveries. I really appreciate the way you instruct your students, and I'm forever grateful to have been one of them. Although AP Bio can get sour at times, having you as its teacher definitely made it sweeter. Thank you.
Mr. Planks, I nominated you as my educator because since day one, I have believed in your passion for music and excellence. These past 6 years I have spent under your directorship has been an amazing experience. You have taught me the value of working hard and what it means to be a musician. I appreciate your time and effort in making the Prosper Orchestra some of the best orchestras around. Through thick and thin, I am so grateful for staying with the orchestra. Thank you so much, Mr. Planks, for all the wonderful memories over the years, and I wish you the best in the future.
The educator that I would like to recognize is Mr. Rice, who was my accounting teacher during my junior year of high school. He has always gone above and beyond for his students and has helped them solve any problems they may encounter. Mr. Rice has always provided me with opportunities to push my boundaries, such as suggesting an independent study class that I'm currently taking, and giving me the chance for real-world experiences in the business industry. Through his love for accounting, he inspired my studies and future goal as a finance major. Thank you for challenging me to work harder and for being my teacher.
Dear Ms. Smith, thank you for being my teacher in language and composition last school year. Even though we were obviously hit by COVID, you still helped me be prepared for the AP test and helped me keep my sanity with some fun assignments too. I specifically remember doing the podcast and PSA, and I liked the creativity I could take with the assignments and also work with some friends. Your lessons on philosophy, education, and your best friend, Ralph Waldo Emerson, were great and have really stuck with me. Lastly, I really appreciate you writing a letter of recommendation for me. I got into all the schools that mattered to me. So one last time, thank you. Sincerely, Luke.
Coach M, I want to thank you so much for being so amazing this year. You've supported me through everything and helped me grow so much in volleyball and as a person. You helped me bring back the love and joy I have for the game. Choosing to come to Rock Hill was one of the best decisions I have made, and you're a huge part of making this year so great. Although I wasn't able to play this year, I wouldn't have changed a thing. I still got to practice with the team I call family and help coach, which allowed me to gain a different perspective of the game I love. Thank you so much for being you.
Hey, Mr. Buckley, there's no educator I can think of that's had a bigger impact on my year than you. As my English teacher, you provided a positive environment for growth and allowed me to find new meaning in every aspect of my life. What's more is that you apply the same energy and passion to every person you interact with. Regardless of the topic at hand, I simply can't think of anyone who's more invested in their students. You were without a doubt an integral part of my high school career, and I consider myself a better person for having taken your class. I can't thank you enough.
I chose Mr. Buckley because he has been one of those teachers that you'll remember for the rest of your life. He teaches not to ingrain the syllabus into our minds, but to help us understand, appreciate, and love English. I've gained so much from taking his class, whether we read a book, passage, poem, etc. We aren't taught from a cookie-cutter formula answers a prompt. We are taught to analyze the deeper meanings and try to determine what the author is trying to say about the meaning of life. Being a high school senior, that's something that is typically on our minds. With our futures rushing at us faster than we felt prepared for, we are the authors of our lives, and we have to figure out what we want our meaning of life to be. I want to thank Mr. Buckley for all that he does and the powerful impact he has left on not just me and my education, but all of his students.
I have chosen to recognize Miss Alexander as my educator that has impacted me the most. She has been a huge influence for me throughout the last couple of years, and I couldn't be more grateful. She is the type of teacher whose goal isn't to just get through the end of the year, but to help students with whatever she can, even with other classes, well, all except for math. But in all seriousness, she has helped me more than I could ever describe. She is a genuine and kind person that will help anyone that needs it, no matter what she is going through herself. Miss A is a selfless individual, and I can proudly say that I would love to grow up and be even a reflection of the person that she is. Thank you, Miss A, for everything that you have sacrificed for your students, and I hope you know how much we appreciate you.
Hey, Mr. Bradstreet. I figured if anyone deserved to be recognized for dealing with me, it'd be you. After 3 years in your classes, I'd say that you successfully converted me into a biology nerd. I really appreciate everything you've done in the past 4 years. For 2 years in a row now, your class has been my favorite because every day I knew I'd learn something new and interesting. Thank you for providing a class that made me feel like school wasn't a waste of time.
Dear Missy, it's been my pleasure to be your student for the past 3 years. You're a kind, attentive, and loving teacher, always giving the best care to your classes. My high school career would not be so fulfilling without your providing me opportunities and renewing assistance. When I was not fluent in English, you patiently explained my classes' projects and guide me through all the procedures. During my freshman year, which was also my first year in the United States, you introduced me to the National Art Honor Society, race event, and many other art-related events. My mom will never forget to remind me how kindly you were to find a Chinese speaker to be my first race judge. And I know I have always enjoyed doing art services and creating new pet portraits for NAS. As I have accomplished many achievements in art exhibitions and competitions, I have built up my confidence. Now I can mostly stand on my own. But I will always remember your numerous help when I was new to this country. Gratefully, CC Zhang.
Thank you, Coach Peoples, for everything you've done for me this past year. You have taught me so much about anatomy and physiology, and I have never had a dull moment in your class. You have made learning so much fun, and anatomy has definitely been one of my favorite classes throughout high school. Not only are you a great teacher, but a great person as well. You're always very uplifting, and even though your jokes are not always the best, it definitely puts a smile on my face. Before taking your class, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to major in, but I realized my interest in kinesiology and exercise science. You have not only helped me grow as a student, but an individual as well, and I will always be thankful for your guidance.
Mr. Salas, I wanted to recognize you as the educator that impacted me the most in order to thank you for everything that you've done for me throughout my high school career. Thank you for teaching me the language of Spanish while doing so in a way that was both engaging and actually made it fun to learn. Thank you for being there for me whenever I needed help, whether it be in your class or just life in general. And most importantly, thank you for just being there for me as a mentor and friend, even if that includes you teasing me. Everything that you have done is extremely appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. I hope that we stay in touch even when I leave for college. Thank you.
Ms. Kachai has done a spectacular job starting the PCIS program at Rock Hill this year, and this class has been an incredibly rewarding experience under her leadership and guidance. She inspires positivity in her students each day as an encouraging teacher and compassionate role model. Ms. Kachai has been a crucial factor in helping me find a career that I am passionate about, and I'm extremely grateful to have the honor of recognizing her today.
Hey, Mr. Gomez, thank you so much for not only being a great teacher and UIL coach, but just being an incredible mentor. Your class and encouragement for me to get involved in UIL helped me find my passion for math and inspired me to pursue a STEM major that allows me to really dive deep into this field. This means more to me than anything, because up till last year, I didn't know what I was truly passionate about or have anything to be striving for. So I cannot thank you enough for guiding me in the right direction.
Dear Miss Cuddy, your positive enthusiasm and informative feedback are characteristics I really appreciated having you as an educator. Virtual learning poses many challenges to both teaching and learning. However, you've done a tremendous job, which has made my experience as a virtual student seem as close as traditional as possible. I'm very grateful for how your advice and feedback has allowed me to become both confident in my abilities as well as continue to strive for improvement. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Nelson. I want to thank you for not only being a great teacher, but also a great person. When you offered to help me with my SAT prep and writing on your own time, I was shocked, as no other teacher has done so before. I've never had a better teacher, so thank you very much for being part of my life.
My chosen educator is Mr. Wilson. He established the Rock Hill Band in its inaugural year as the head director. This year, Mr. Wilson fostered a philosophy of taking pride in excellence to achieve musicianship at the highest level. Even more, he has demonstrated unwavering dedication to cultivate the Rock Hill Band, which has allowed me to become a better musician. Mr. Wilson truly embodies the definition of a selfless and caring educator who has been an incredible role model for me this entire year.
Thank you, Mr. E, for being one of the most amazing and memorable teachers I've ever had. You've made such a major impact on my love and knowledge of engineering, but what really sets you apart from the others is that you truly care about your students. Every day I come into your class and you always make sure to ask how my day has been. If it's not fantastic, then you take the time to understand why, which really means so much to me. It's just great to have a teacher that cares more about what's just in the grade book. So thank you so much, Mr. E.